Hi, I'm Perry Atkinson, General Manager here at theDove. Hey, check out our other videos and check out our website at thedove.us. Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson. Delighted to have back in the studio with us today Treva Kuyper. She's one of the co-leaders of the ministry called The Loft, and it is an outstanding ministry here in Southern Oregon that reaches out to young girls from 8th grade through 12th grade. And every month they've been doing a special series, and well, hold on to your hat. There comes this Sunday.
This is the one we've been waiting for.
What is it? I don't know, but I have two titles here. One, it says, Let's Talk About Sex, Baby. Is that it?
That's our theme. That is our theme. That's a song from the 90s.
Yeah.
But we're talking about sex and relationships and lust and all of the things that our teenagers are immersed in nowadays.
Well, it's vitally important, and you say immersed in it, and boy, I just don't know how you protect kids from it today. What do you do?
Well, it's hard, and I'm a parent of a teenager, and then I also direct the Loft ministry for our teen girls, and I believe that all the parents, the adults, the mentors, we need to be aware of the world that our teens are living in, and to just nowadays you can't just let things go and just assume that they're going to make those right decisions or they're going to navigate themselves through high school and be fine. You can't do that anymore.
No, you can't, and just assume.
Yeah, you cannot assume anymore, and we really need to take a stand for our teens. They need us to walk alongside them and not just tell them the yes and no answers, but communicate with them and explain to them the whys and the whats. Why do you want to wait till marriage to have sex? What is being pure? How do you do that? How do you do that? And I was listening to Robin Fuller from the Pregnancy Center in Grants Pass. You had her on Monday. I would encourage everybody to go back and watch that interview. But, you know, just having different people in this world that are fighting for our teens, we have to give them the answers, and they want those answers, even if they don't seem like it.
Well, you know, she has the Silver Ring thing coming up, and it's a huge event, very successful. So there seems to be, teenagers are exposed to this whole sexual subject way early, but there's also seems to be a desire to remain pure. Are you seeing it?
I do. They're struggling. I mean, when they go to school, they're not just going there to learn. They're actually having to battle through what the world is telling them is okay. And we know the world says now, just do whatever you feel like doing. Any truth, anything you believe it's true, do whatever you want, but the world isn't standing next to them when they have to pick up the pieces of those decisions. And so we do see that battle going on within them, because at the core of a teenager, they're a child. And they're a child that wants love and faithfulness and security. They want someone to speak truth to them in love. And so we need to do that, and we need to bring them back to their Creator, the God that loves them so much, and Jesus who died for them, and we need to bring them back to that truth. And I think that in this day and age, it's hard for them to hear our voices and God's voice, because the world speaks very, very loudly.
All right, so how do you do this? What are you going to say to girls?
Well, this Sunday we're going to tackle the umbrella of sex. We're going to tackle pornography, same-sex relationships, boyfriends, girlfriends, all of that. We're not going to have time to dive deep into every part underneath the umbrella of sex. But one of the ways that teens really respond is through a testimony. So we have several speakers that are coming to share their testimony. What did their life look like when they listened to the world and they were involved in all kinds of sexual behaviors? Or we also have a couple that waited until marriage, and they had an engagement of purity. And we're going to hit it from both angles and just share with our girls, you can have hope. You can be encouraged. There is a way to make it through this life victorious. You can. And we want to bring it back to Christ. So we'll share the gospel. We're going to let them know that, you know, God wants to walk with them through all of these things, and they don't have to roll around in the muck and the mire of what this culture is telling them is okay.
Do teenagers, young girls, see sex different than what it really is? Is it a combination of emotions and love and, you know, physical involvement? But I mean, do they get what it really is?
I don't think they do. I think for teenagers, their definition of sex, when they hear, you know, I grew up, my parents always telling me, don't have sex till you're married. But I grew up in a non-Christian home, so I never understood, like, well, what's the point of that, right? And so in their world, as long as they're not having sexual intercourse, then they're not having sex. But they don't count all the other things that you can be doing. It's intimacy. It's intimacy, and they don't count sexual behaviors of intimacy as sex. And in our world with TV, media, even commercials, they're being told that all of that is okay, and so they're completely confused on the definition of sex and relationships and what a healthy relationship is and what a healthy marriage is and a healthy sexual relationship in marriage. I don't think they can fathom it.
Did they understand the consequences, i.e. pregnancy?
I think that our society has, yes, they understand that can happen, but our society has glorified a teen pregnancy. I was pregnant at 19, and I had an abortion. And to this day, I wish someone would have stood between me and the clinic that I went to stand up to me. Nobody stood up to me. In fact, my mom was like, I support you in whatever you decide. Well, that was a big decision. And it was left up to me to decide
and
that.
And you weren't prepared for that.
I was not prepared. No one told me of the consequences of that decision. No one told me the emotional consequences, how that would affect my intimacy in my marriage. Nobody told me any of that. The world just said, well, you can get rid of that mistake. And that's what's so sad with our teens is, yeah, they understand that you can get STDs and get pregnant, but they don't ever think it will happen to them. And again, with
a big lie. Yeah.
They think that they think a lot of times that they're immortal, that they, you know, all of the suffering in the world, it's not going to happen to them.
How much pressure are girls under these days?
A lot of pressure, not only from themselves but from their friendships. You know, their friends. There's a lot of peer pressure to have sex. And then you have the opposite side of that where there's pressure to be pure. And if you're not pure, you're kind of pigeonholed, you know, you're stereotyped. And so there's not a lot of grace on either side in the schools and in their friendship groups.
Well, folks, this is incredible, and Treva and her team takes this on head on, but they do it with compassion and they do it with the gospel. And so this Sunday night at the Community Bible Church there in Central Point, starts at what time?
5:30. 5:30, and they can just show up and they can bring friends.
Just show up and bring friends. If you're between 8th grade and 12th grade girl, this is a great opportunity. I'm surprised at how young school is talking about this, you know, long before development.
Oh.
And so therefore the curiosity is automatically sparked early on.
Absolutely. And they can get their hands on anything. I mean, if
with a computer.
With the computer, they can get their hands on anything. And so we're watching, you know, 5th graders are having sex or oral sex or addicted to pornography or, you know, I mean, I did want to say to our parents and grandparents that are listening, because I'm so convicted of this as a parent, that we as adults, what can we do? What's the best thing that we can do? The best thing that we can do is be an example to our kids. We can be that example. What teenagers want is not hypocrisy.
Right.
They have to see a healthy life being lived out for Christ. They have to see that. If they do not see that, they will quit. They will stop trying, they will stop seeking, they will quit, because in their world, if it's not going to work for anybody, then why should I even try?
And I think another point of this argument is how many parents know where their kids are all the time?
Right.
Are they involved in their kids' lives from sun up to sundown? I mean, do they really know where they are and what they're doing?
Yeah, yeah, and that's a real difficult part of even being a parent, because you want to give your teenager freedom. You want to show them that you respect them and that you trust them. But I would encourage parents to really know who are the friends of your son or daughter. Do you really know those friends?
That's a good point.
Because you know, the Bible says a companion of fools will suffer much harm. And what I've seen is sometimes the friends, or a lot of times the friends will put their best foot forward in front of the parents, right? But behind the scenes, those friends are also helping this young person watch porn or, get involved in sexual behaviors that they don't need to be having any part of. And so as parents, we need to be loving and kind to our children's friends, but we also need to be wise and to make assumptions that, they're not, I don't need to filter my computer because they're not going to go there.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Right, and you're taking the girls to the Silver Ring thing?
We are, yes. So this Sunday night, we'll have the Loft talking about sex and relationships. And then on Wednesday, we're taking our Loft girls to the Silver Ring thing in Grants Pass. And we're so excited.
All right, there you go. Well, check it out this Sunday evening, 5:30 there at Community Bible Church. And just show up. Yep. If you have a young girl from 8th grade up through 12th grade, just show up. If you want to bring your friend, do that. Treva, thank you. And I'd be curious to know how this turns out on the other side when you get done with this one.
Yes, I will let you know.
Oh, I'm sure you will. Okay, thanks. All right, we'll be right back.